Hello.
Hello. Look at you. I'm going to be such a grandma right now, Ruel, and say you look so grown up. So handsome. I'm loving this long hair, man. How long did that take you to get that hair grown?
I haven't cut like the back or the kind of top for about 4 or 5 months. I'd
Are
say.
you got that much growth?
Yeah, I mean, I grow.
He's a grower. Damn, that's very impressive. I was going to say there's at least a year's worth of growth. Was that studio looking that good pre-COVID, or is this something you've just worked on since you've been stuck in one place?
No, it just like we put in a carpet at the start of this year, and now I've got proper I bought mics, speakers, monitors, got a little keyboard here.
Damn.
So yeah, I kind of just been decking it out, but it's been really fun to and it's also made me want a bedroom and a guitar. Like you can, right? But now I like go into my studio and man.
I have a creative idea. I'll just walk to my studio and get it down.
On the way, have a bowl of cereal, say hi to mum and dad. All right, going to the studio, mum.
So you've bloody gone and really outdone yourself here, Dal. You've made everyone else look bad. You could have just come out with a video. Instead, you've made 70.
Yeah.
I mean, did you sleep? How do you even come up with 70 concepts?
Well, it's Anyway, it's 21 shows that we made, 70 pieces of content, which includes like little commercials and stuff like that for certain products we've made up and stuff. So I did it all in Melbourne in about 3 weeks. Everything.
At home? Like, did you just set up a home studio or somewhere?
So I flew to Melbourne just before the COVID started to strike there, or kind of as it was happening, and we got this sound stage to do some of it in, and then the rest of the RuelVision stuff we kind of did in this little 3x4 meter little photography studio where we just got all these props to make it look bigger than it was, and and then obviously the shot in this crazy house in Mount Martha, this crazy mid-centuries mansion, let's say.
Good. And whose idea was this? Because the rollout is ridiculous, and there's obviously so much thought that's gone into it. And one of the things I've loved about watching you for a couple of years now is that everything is really intentional. You don't just kind of throw everything at it and then overdose people. And you're so intentional. You do it so carefully. So I know that so much thought went into this whole RuelVision new EP process. So where did this all come from? Is it your brainchild, or is it your incredible team? Did you all sit down and just brainstorm and come up with this ridiculousness?
So Jeremy, or Grey Ghost, is his director's name. He's my creative director, And so he came up with the concept for the As Long As You Care music video. With all the, but it was just, kind of me going around this crazy house and watching TV, and on the shows were kind of mid-centuries type shows, and I'd be in the shows. And that was really, all it was to start. And then myself, my manager Nate, and Jeremy Grego started talking. We're just how about we make, all these things you see on TV, branch off into a completely other piece of content where it's 3 to 15 minutes or something, and it's like a skit, it's I try to act, and we're like, oh god, that's a lot of work, and we're like, let's do it. So we did it, and we somehow pulled it off in a very short amount of time, and it's all coming out. The first drop of content comes out on Tuesday.
You know that your fans are going to go completely crazy for this. I've been to multiple Ruel shows, and it's louder than One Direction. So are you just ready for them to just be like, ah! in the best way possible?
So yes, that's what I'm waiting for, I guess. But that's the thing. I haven't put out anything. I haven't put out really any content since the start of this year. I haven't put out any music, just, you know, my own music, since September last year. So, yeah, I feel like they definitely deserve to be overwhelmed with content because,
Yeah. So good. And tell me about As Long As You Care. What does this song mean to you? Where did it come from? What do you want the people to know about it before they hear it?
actually, every single one of the songs on the EP, were written in, or except for one, were written in Paris last year in June with Sarah Aarons, who I work with a lot, and obviously in Phases. And yeah, we were there for about a week, and I had to shoot the face-to-face music video there, and then I had to go to Fashion Week. But, yeah, it was an incredible week, but it was like ridiculously busy. Like there was so much to do. And then in that time, I was like, you know, when I came back to the Airbnb, like I'd write with Sarah and
Yeah.
Phases. So in like 3 days, we wrote like 4 songs, and every single one of them, I was like, oh my God, like I love every single one of these. Like we have to put all of them out. And anyway, they've been, you know, kind of sitting there for a while, and I wanted to wait to put them on the album. And then I was supposed to write the album this year, like the full, you know, the full length kind of debut album. But that obviously, you know, COVID struck, so I couldn't write in LA anymore. So it was going to be a lot harder. So it was like, hey, let's just put out these songs that we got last year as an EP, little Paris package. And
I love that.
yeah, so specifically, the concept behind that one was just like Sarah and I were talking, and I was kind of just really, a lot of my songs are just about, you know, my experience of touring, and I just came off like the first EP world tour, and you know, I was super busy at the time, and I was missing home, I was missing Sydney, so it's kind of just another one of those songs. But like the kind of twist on it was like, I'll be okay away from you, just as long as you care, as long as that I know that you still love me and you're still there, and I still come back to you, because I don't really miss people if I know I'm going to see them again. If I have that in my head, like I'm going to see them, even if it's like 3 to 5 months, as long as I know I'm going to see them, like I won't really miss it. So it's kind of like a reassurance to me, like, you know, like as long as it's still there and it still cares to me and I can still, you know, go back to it, like I'll be okay.
So good. And I love that, like, you had plans for an album, and at first you probably were really disappointed that you couldn't put the album out. But now we get something completely different that wouldn't have happened otherwise in RuelVision. So it's kind of like you look at it and you go, maybe it was meant to be.
I think it definitely was meant to be. Not saying COVID was meant to be, because
COVID sucks balls.
Fuck COVID. But anyway, yeah, like in terms of, you know, the EP happening, yeah, it was pretty amazing that I've got to do this and we got to kind of pull off this RuelVision thing, because I've always wanted to act and I've always wanted to do comedy and stuff like that. So this has been a perfect kind of segue into that.
It's so cool. And I think, like, now you can do it all. Like, you know, obviously we all know and love the Harry Styles cover that you did, but Harry Styles is such a great example of someone that does things on his own terms. He can act, he can have full creative control. Like, you don't have to choose. If you want to act and have, you know, fun comedy thing and make 21 pieces of you can do that, because it's all up to you. That must be the most exciting, liberating thing.
Yeah, it is really incredible that I get to, you know, do this stuff. And like, just my team are so kind of, it's such a telepathic relationship now. Like we all know what they like, know exactly the stuff that I like. And if I come up with an idea, they can see where my head's at with it. So, you know, they're also open to, you know, doing stuff that, you know, I want to do. So yeah, I'm very lucky that I have a very trusty team.
And one of my favorite questions to always ask people, because you're still on the rise, which I think is the most exciting part. Like, I feel like you're a superstar, but it really is still just beginning. And my favorite thing to ask people in the first year or two is about like other artists who have become your fan. Like, and I love hearing stories of like when someone like you, when an artist has reached out, that maybe you've grown up really like listening to their music or really admiring them, and then they reach, I mean, Elton John is a fucking, you know, pretty ridiculous, but have you had that experience again of people reaching out and you're like, oh my God, this person knows I exist?
Yeah, I mean, the past couple of years has been crazy. Like, a lot of my idols I've somehow got, connections with, like Brockhampton. I got to meet, like, I really love them and I really love their music, and I got to like meet them and hang out with them in LA. And then like also like when you do festivals and stuff like that with artists that you love, that's when it gets exciting, because you kind of feel, if you're playing as well, kind of feel, you got a right to go and speak to that person.
Yeah.
We're both playing this festival.
We're both here for the same reason.
We're both on the same level. Come on, we're all friends here. Yeah, so stuff like that was pretty crazy. Like Laneway, I got to meet like Maddie Healy from 1975, which is really cool. Yeah, and like Omar Apollo and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really cool.
That's so awesome. Well, we're so excited for you. And honestly, I never stop being impressed. I think from day one, you've just put every foot right and you did it properly, and you're so talented. And it's just the start, Ruel. You're just starting, man. I'm gonna, in 10 years' time or 5 years' time, don't forget us, all right?
Oh, I won't. Ashley, you're going to be very hard to forget, no matter how hard I.
That sounds like you want to forget me, but you can't. Oh, the acting, very good acting. Ruel, we love you, mate. Thanks for hanging out today. You're a legend.
See you, Ash.
Bye. Bye.